Welcome back to Mission Control here in Space City, Houston. I originally had another video planned for this week, but I was scrolling through my Instagram Reels as I was writing the script, and I saw this. It's pretty good, right? So the account that posted this is called Dedna Hype. They're a group of Latvian content creators who post comedy sketches like this pretty often. And while I was certain that this is the first time I'd come across this page, something about the way this elderly man took a beating seemed so familiar to me. Then I realized that Cody Ko had already posted a video about this channel titled My New Favorite TikToker way back on October 10th, 2020. Now at the time, the channel was centered around an older man, his son, and whatever this thing is. In his video, Mr. Ko, compared this channel to an Eastern European version of Darman because a lot of the characters that they portray are very over-exaggerated, and a lot of the morals, while misguided at times, are pretty easy to follow for people who, I guess, don't speak the same language that they do. The main idea of the videos, though, were people who do wrong, mainly elder abuse, by the way, instantly, wait for it, regretted it. But 2020 was a long time ago. Times have changed. Everyone knows content creation is a young person's game, and I guess the old man finally decided to pass down the family business. A new cast of characters fill out most of the videos now, who I assume are the older man's kids and grandkids. I'm not really sure, but the old man still does pop up from time to time, so I assume he just pops in whenever he gets bored of hitting the driving range or whatever you do in TikTok retirement, I don't know. But even though we're done with the 90s, this man built something good. Dare I say, great. And I want to make sure that his business is still operating smoothly. So I've saved a bunch of reels from their page, and we're going to watch them together and check in on how things are going. Okay, so here's the full version of this video. So he's sitting in class, these kids keep cutting off his wired earbuds, and the teacher sees it in the middle of drawing the 4, by the way, so that's how that 4 got there. Teacher didn't forget what he was writing. He had to step in to give this kid some wireless earbuds. He hit that though. They lose their minds, tosses it. Oh my god. They cut his earbuds twice. Why does he have 2 sets of wired earbuds on him? Alright, let's check out the next one. Alright, so kid has a plate he puts in the toilet. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna try this in my own house with plates that I eat off of, but I might want to try that on plates in my own house that I eat off of. Like, that's already one video in, we're learning useful tips and tricks for housekeeping. That's pretty genius. That's thinking outside the box. Okay, so I've already gotten one useful tip from this page. Let's see what else I've saved. Okay, a couple things right off the bat. Is that the same kid in the first 2 shots? I feel like it's a different child who's asking him, like, in quick succession. Second thing, why do they have, like, sexy eye filter on? I don't know. What does that add to the video? Made all that. Okay, so I get, like, that's a Darman element of it, right? Like, the kid asks for something, and the dad goes and he works really hard moving trash from one place to another. I don't really know what he's doing, but he gets paid. Driving home, he sees another child who I don't think is related to him in the story, selling, like, bunches of bananas. And he just gives him all the money that he just worked to earn. And so I guess, like, the moral of the story there is like, okay, like your kid wants this car, but like he didn't work for it, and this kid is out here like selling bananas, and he worked hard for the money, so he should get money to do what he needs to do with it. He has more? But then that doesn't end up being the moral of the story, because he just goes home to the other kid and just gives him even more of his infinite supply of money. So what's the moral of the story? Is like you can do one day of work and then all of a sudden every child who passes by you is just gonna get $1 million in cash? I don't know. I think they might have lost the plot a little bit on that one. Not quite as helpful as the toilet dishwashing one, but we'll keep going. Okay, this one I want to get into a little bit because it's blowing my mind. What would you do? I'm John Quinones right now. You're two adult human beings in a car, and a child who is alone walks up to you and says, "Can I have some money?" Are you just gonna hand this unaccompanied child $20 and then let them just hobble down the street alone? The main character guy sees this girl walking up to his car. I guess she's supposed to be limping, right? She's doing her best. He sees her, he takes pity on her, he says, "Aw," and he hands her $20 and says, No, continue limping up the road alone." Dude, call the police, call somebody. You can't just give her $20 and be like, "I'm sure she won't get hit by a truck on this street that she's walking down the middle of." This guy, not content to just let this child walk away and be charged with like child endangerment, he also wants to go back and steal the money. Which, to be honest, he's probably just trying to get anything that they have their fingerprints on away from this child that's about to go missing. So maybe he's the smart one in the car after all, but either way, crazy move to get out of your car, chase this kid down, and then take the money back. So the little girl comes up from behind their car on the left side, and when the driver sees her, he says, "Here's $20. And she continues to walk down the road, presumably past the car. Now his friend walks forward from the car, takes the money, and walks back as the girl continues to walk away sad, away from the car to the front. Then the passenger, who doesn't want to give this child any money, takes all of the cash from his friend who's driving the car. The driver then puts the car into drive, and as the car begins to move, it hasn't moved yet, he drops a $50 banknote, which, again, not sure how he has because his friend took all of his money away. But he drops it out of the car as he's starting to move the car for the first time in the scene. The girl then walks up behind the dollar, puts her foot on it, sees it, picks it up, and then as the driver is driving away from in front of her, winks in the side mirror. Don't wink at this child. You've not done her any kindness. You've left her stranded on the streets. And second, how did the girl get to the dollar that he dropped behind her as she's doing her Charlie Brown sad walk away from the car? I think we need a continuity manager on these shoots, guys, if we're going to be doing stuff like this with so many moving parts, as in 3 actors and a car with 2 of the actors in it. Also, maybe don't write scenes where your good guy character drops $50 out of a car to a child wandering the streets, and that's like the good ending of the video. Someone very helpful in the comments says, "Don't give money to kids. Feed them or buy them something they need, but don't give money." Yeah, alright, dude. Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna go use it for drugs or something. She's gonna be dead by the morning. She's just stuck on the road. Alright, let's watch the next one here. There aren't many comedy videos on the internet that start out with a child choking on a peanut M&M, so I'll give them that for being a little bit adventurous. I don't know how I would feel about portraying myself as anything stuck inside a young girl's throat, but do you, because you did say in my throat, so nice save. But also, if a child is currently choking on M&Ms, do not give them more M&Ms. Certainly don't give them a million M&Ms, which is what you seem to have done. Because that one red M&M that you threw into her mouth looked like it barely fit, and hence why she's choking. And then you cut to the M&M in her throat, and buckets of M&Ms are dropping on this M&M. So two things are wrong with that. First of all, one, I can't imagine he's just up there just pelting M&Ms down her throat. Just feeding them in with like a funnel. And second, if he himself is the M&M, why are all the M&Ms so much smaller than him? This is the problem with this video. It just doesn't make any sense. No, all of my skits I like to see are all like spatially and physically accurate. So this is not doing it for me. And then finally, after he decides, okay, an M&M got stuck in her throat, adding a million more M&Ms didn't work out, so maybe I should try to wash it down with something. Not water, let's just try some orange soda and just see if that'll clear the pipes out. And hey, it works. But I don't think either of those things are what you should do if your child is choking on an M&M, right? You should just start doing the Heimlich maneuver, because I don't think either of those things would work. I feel like this one's just as much on you as it is on the kid who's on the phone. Can't you move the wheelchair? Even if you are not able to stand, the whole point of a wheelchair is for mobility, correct? If you're 4 inches away from being able to reach a shoe with your arms, surely you can just roll the wheelchair forward and just pick it up regularly, right? Second of all, when you drop the stick, somehow, I don't know how you manage that, the kid looks at you and gives you the stick back. You could have said something at that point. Say, hey, can you grab me my shoe? Right? Instead of just being like, oh, the nerve of this guy. Like, yeah, maybe he probably could have inferred what you were doing, but you also had every opportunity to be like, hey, yeah, thanks for that. Can you also, like, grab me my shoe over there, by the way? I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for your help. Instead of just being like, oh, okay. So you gave me my stick back? But you're not going to give me the shoe that you clearly didn't see me reaching for? What the hell, man? I know I could, roll forward a foot and pick it up myself, but you saw me trying to get it with this stick that, I don't know where I got it from. If I don't have my shoe on, how did my shoe come off? This doesn't make any sense. What? I think they put so many of these out because I think there's a 5-second thought threshold on these that if you consider them for that long, they automatically lose all meaning and merit. I'm sitting here watching this. At first, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's kind of rude that he's talking on the phone and not helping you, but you could have said something to him. And that's my main issue with it. But as soon as I think about it for that requisite 5 seconds, I'm just asking, what sequence of events brings about the situation that we see as this short begins? There is a man in a wheelchair next to a child on a phone. The man in the wheelchair has somehow lost a shoe off of his foot, which he took off on purpose. I don't know how you lose your shoe in a wheelchair that has stirrups for your feet, but okay. Also, he has a long stick. I suppose he could have a cane if he's only partially dependent on the wheelchair, but like, this is just like a curtain rod, right? Like, it's not like a walking cane. So in what world is he here with just one shoe off, but able to obtain this stick, but also not able to roll forward and just pick up the shoe? Like, I guess the seed of the idea is, oh, there's somebody on the phone who's on the phone not paying attention to you, only helps you half of the way, is totally oblivious to the real situation. I don't know how you get from there to like, okay, this guy in a wheelchair will have lost his shoe, and surely there's no way he can retrieve it unless this young boy would just put down the phone and help him get his shoe. So don't think about these for too long, but that one is just one that just blew my mind a little bit. So this is the one we saw in the beginning. We'll end on this because it's a blast from the past. So already, like spatially in the scene, doesn't make a lot of sense because he's stepping off the curb to kick this guy's milk bottle, which I'm gonna assume that the baby doll that they're using is supposed to represent a real baby, just so that this makes even like a modicum of sense, because if that is supposed to be a baby doll, then it really doesn't matter at all if this milk is in there unless he himself is drinking it. So yeah, let's just assume it's a real baby that needs this milk to survive. This guy steps off the curb, kicks it over, all of a sudden is further behind the man on the curb. Next time we see the old man, he's trying to scoop the milk back into the bottle by hand. Then the guy who kicked over the milk comes back out with McDonald's. And I get it. A very unique take on influencer culture, right? Like, wow, this guy's only giving away stuff to people that are less fortunate than him for views on Instagram, I suppose. Wow. I've never seen that commentary before. But hey, to give him credit, I've not seen these videos get so aggressive because the guy is like demanding that he be thankful for the video, and then he like wrestles the food away from him. And then the man just says, like, this man kicked over what I assume is your living baby's milk supply for the day. Clearly there's no more of it because you're scooping it off of the pavement it's already soaked into with your bare hands. Then he gives you food that you can't afford that I would think you would need to survive. And then he like wrestles it away from you and makes a face at you, and all you can muster is just SMH. SMHing my damn head. Dude, what do you have to lose? Kill him. Kill him in the street. Take his money and his food. That's all that's left. That's all that's left for you. It may be too late for you. It's not too late for your baby. Kill him, take the money, drop it off in a bassinet. So absolutely unhinged page. Honestly, some of these are not bad. Some of these genuinely are pretty funny. Just again, remember, don't think longer than 5 seconds about any of them, okay? That's the rules. But after all that, I think we can safely say that the family business is in good hands. And for real guys, go check out this page, Dedna Hype. It's DEDNA Hype. I've read that they do a bit of good work for the unhoused population in Latvia, so respect to them. Honestly, I hope they keep doing what they're doing. I'll be the first to admit their hit rate is not like super high, but whenever they hit, it is unhinged gold, and I really appreciate what they're doing. So good for them for putting their stuff out there and just letting them rip. But I've been Aaron Trevino. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember to like, subscribe, comment if you think the new regime is doing a good job or not. I'll be back very soon, and I'll see you guys then.